In the world of elite training, there are expectations, and then there are legends. Today, we're diving into a story that completely shattered the mold. It's about a recruit named Alara, someone nobody saw coming. When she first walked into the Advanced Combat Simulation facility, the instructors barely gave her a second glance. She was quiet, unassuming, and physically smaller than every other candidate in her cohort. The training program was notorious, designed to break even the most seasoned veterans. The prevailing wisdom was simple. Strength and size were the keys to survival. Alara didn't fit that profile. In the initial briefings, you could see the smirks and hear the whispers. The others were decorated soldiers, hardened operatives from special forces units around the globe. And then there was Alara. Her file was thin, almost suspiciously so. All it said was that she'd excelled in unconventional strategic programs. Nobody knew what that meant, and frankly, nobody cared. They were all focused on the first phase. The Gauntlet, a grueling obstacle course combined with tactical combat scenarios. The record time was held by a legendary operative, a time nobody had come close to matching in over a decade. The first day, the candidates were put through punishing physical trials. Alara kept pace, but just barely. She wasn't the fastest or the strongest. She finished middle of the pack in every drill, reinforcing the instructor's initial assessment. They labeled her as average, someone who would likely wash out before the halfway mark. They figured her endurance would give out or the sheer psychological pressure would get to her. They had a system, a way of weeding out the weak, and they were confident Alara would be filtered out soon enough. What they didn't understand was that she wasn't playing their game. She was playing her own. Then came the day of the live fire simulation, the real test. The candidates were thrown into a complex urban environment filled with dynamic threats and unexpected challenges. This is where the contenders were separated from the pretenders. One by one, the top candidates went in. They were fast, aggressive, and powerful. They used brute force to clear rooms and relied on overwhelming firepower. Their times were impressive, but they all followed a predictable pattern. They fought the simulation head-on. Finally, it was Alara's turn. The instructors started the clock and watched the monitors, expecting a quick and decisive failure. But what they saw left them speechless. Alara didn't charge in. She didn't kick down doors or throw flashbangs. Instead, she moved like a ghost. She used the environment in ways no one had ever thought of. She scaled walls to bypass heavily guarded entrances, used reflections in puddles to see around corners, and manipulated the simulation's own systems against itself. She wasn't just running the course. She was dissecting it. The threat, programmed to react to aggression, were completely unprepared for her methods. She was a whisper in the code, a phantom in the machine. She moved with an efficiency that was terrifying. While others wasted ammunition and energy on direct confrontations, Alara neutralized targets with surgical precision, often without firing a single shot. She used diversions, traps, and psychological tactics that made the AI-controlled enemies turn on each other. The instructors watched, their jaws on the floor. They were witnessing a level of strategic thinking that was light years ahead of their curriculum. She wasn't just faster than everyone else. She was in a different league entirely. When she crossed the finish line, the entire control room was silent. She hadn't just beaten the record, she had obliterated it by nearly half. She emerged from the simulation without a scratch, her breathing calm and steady. The smirks were gone, replaced by expressions of pure disbelief and awe. They had spent years designing a system to find the best, but they had never prepared for someone who could rewrite the rules of the system itself.